Hey, welcome back, y'all. Here to discuss episode 3 of Bel-Air season 4, the final season. So, this episode focused around Thanksgiving dinner. Wasn't a whole lot going on. It was mainly two major things going on. Will invited Lou for Thanksgiving dinner, and also Lou getting a job in Philly and trying to find a way to tell Will. We open up with the episode Will and Carlton getting off with was it customer service, community service? Like they have to take these classes instead of going to jail for vandalizing that car. So they got off well with that. I'm glad they did. And Lou was actually in the courtroom when they were, sentenced to this community service. And that's how it was like, hey, ended up inviting him over for Thanksgiving. So Lou is feeling some type of way about Will getting in trouble, and he's asking Phil, is my son safe here? Like, is he gonna be good here? And Uncle Phil's like, well, what is all this about? What do you mean is he gonna be good here? And that's when he says, hey, well, I got a job in Philly, right? And he's trying to find a way to tell Will. And as I find this out that Lou has a job in Philly, I feel like, why is that such a big deal? Like, Will's about to graduate from high school. He's about to be legally an adult. They made it seem as if Lou was like abandoning him or something, because when Phil and Lou were arguing, Phil was like, you can't even tell Will that you're leaving. And then that's when Will walked in, and so Lou was forced to tell him he was leaving. And of course, Will was like sad about it, but he got over it rather quickly. And it's like, I just don't feel like Lou finding better opportunities in another state equals like abandonment. Like, I would not put this with the Lou from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air that told Will he was going to come with him on his job, and he didn't. And he was just, this Lou is different, basically. Like, this Lou was in prison for a long time. The Lou on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air just straight up left, popped back up when he wanted to. I don't know, because he just wanted to. I don't even know why he popped up. But then he let Will down again by making up some excuses why he couldn't come with him. But this Lou is just finding a job, better opportunities. So it's like Uncle Phil I feel like really just didn't care for him as a whole, because he wasn't in Will's life, because he was locked up. Like, they were at the dinner table saying grace for Thanksgiving, and Uncle Phil was showing his behind. I should have wrote down what he said, but he was saying stuff like, glad that Lou's here finally after all these years. And it's like, blessing the food is not the time to be shady, okay? Like, he really had it out for Lou, and Lou is not that bad of a character, because I remember when I was doing a review, I forgot what season Lou came in. I want to say it was season 2 when Lou showed up. They were acting like he was just this horrible, terrible person, and I'm like, come to find out, he was in prison, and it's like, not for killing nobody. That's why I'm like, y'all treating him like he's just El Chapo or something. Another big thing about this episode was we see the backstory of how Jeffrey and Uncle Phil met. So he met Jeffrey at a bar. Jeffrey was kind of down. They just had some drinks because Uncle Phil said, can I get something in a dirty glass? Now, I'm not a drinker, so I don't even know what dirty glass means. I'm pretty sure it doesn't literally mean dirty glass. It's probably some kind of lingo with alcohol. But with Jeffrey being from, London, they got different lingo there. So that's what got them to talking or whatever. So we see flashbacks throughout the episode between Uncle Phil and Jeffrey. So he met Jeffrey because when he took him to his house to meet Vivian, she was pregnant with Carlton, and Hillary was like, looked like she was like a few years old. So he was in these children's life. He's been the butler, the right hand man since they were little kids. So he's definitely like family to them. He's been there from the beginning, especially like Carlton and Ashley, because they've always known Jeffrey. And then, like I said, Hillary looked like she was like 4 or 5 or something like that. So we find out that Jeffrey was into some underground type of stuff, right? And he was the one that got it to where Phil was accepted for a loan to start his private practice. And so the fact that Jeffrey's behind that says a lot, that it explains a lot that Uncle Phil, after what Jeffrey has kind of put the family through with these goons coming into their life, I think he feel like he probably owes Jeffrey, because he was the one that, I don't know if he hemmed somebody up and was like, hey, you need to give him this loan. I don't know, but I think he probably feels indebted to Jeffrey. And I didn't know their friendship was that deep, you know what I'm saying? And Jeffrey actually ended up telling Phil during the flashback when they were younger, he was like, you saved my life. And Uncle Phil was like, well, tell me what you're running from or whatever. And that's when the scene cuts back to the present day. So they're pretty much like brothers. And the fact that Uncle Phil, his hand was forced in this whole money washing thing, because after they busted up their house, Jeffrey was like, look, this is what these people do. I was just trying to let you know. So that's what we're dealing with in the episodes coming up. Now, I don't know what's up with Hillary's character, but she's still in Costa Rica after her husband died. She just was like, I need a break, and she jetted, and she was on the phone with Vivian saying that the flights from Costa Rica were all booked or something. So I don't know what the writers are doing with her character right now. I don't know if maybe she was on tour during this time. A lot of times when you see a character in a show just like go on a vacation, or they take a job in another, kind of like during Martin, when Martin and Tisha Campbell were having their issues, they had to kind of write around that. Like the last season when Martin was crazy as hell, because they had to write that Gina was here, and Gina missed, remember that episode where it was a Valentine's episode where they were on the ship, Gina missed the boat, and they centered a lot of episodes around the other characters like Pam, Cole, Tommy. So I'm wondering if around this time, maybe Coco Jones, that's the woman who plays Hillary, I'm wondering if she had something going on, because she was on the first episode, but she wasn't on the second episode of this season, and she wasn't on this episode. She was just like FaceTime, something real quick, show her face real quick, and that's it. Like I said, there wasn't a whole lot going on this episode. We pretty much just got the backstory of Phil and Jeffrey. And Lou was based in this a lot. So one of the things they were talking about, Lou was bringing up how Uncle Phil and Vivian, they had a little rough beginning or whatever. And the kids were like, man, you never told us about this. And Uncle Phil was like, well, it's good to learn from your past or whatever, but to be better, I'm paraphrasing like hell, to be better, I guess he's like, I don't want to just lean on that. Whereas Lou was like, it's good to know about your beginnings, your roots or whatever. I can actually understand where both men are coming from. I do. Because it's like, on one hand, I don't want to sit there and think about the times that I struggled, and the times that I was going through, and the times that I was, robbing Peter to pay Paul. I want to enjoy the fruits of my labor now. And then on Lou's hand, I can understand, because it's like, look, you kind of want to you appreciate what you have now because of what you went through. So I definitely get where they both were coming from. But I think Uncle Phil, I don't know, I think he was just on Lou's neck a little bit too much, because at this point, Lou has been in LA, living there. He had a barbershop. It's not like he popped up out of nowhere for Thanksgiving. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, Uncle Phil, relax. You got other stuff to worry about. You got a whole money washing, money laundering thing popping off. And you worried about Lou, who's finna move anyway. Like, but anyway, let me know what you think about this past episode. All right, got 4 more to go, and then I believe that's it. I believe they just have 8 episodes for this season. You know, these shows nowadays, we only get 8 episodes. We don't get 25 and 26 anymore. Granted, the 25 and 26 episodes were 30 minutes, whereas these episodes are an hour. But still, if you cut 26 in half, it's still 13. Can we get 13 episodes? If you believe in the whole lucky, 13 is an unlucky number, can we get 12 episodes or 14? I'm just saying, these little 8 episodes, and then we got to wait a whole year and a half for another season, I do not like. Anyway, shout out to my 180 subscribers. Shout out to the rest of you as well who are not subscribed, but you know you can by hitting that button for me. I really appreciate it if you do. Peace and blessings to every last one of you watching. Until next time.